Hello, we are live.
Dave, where are you at today? Where are you?
I'm in Portugal.
Portugal. Very nice.
Yeah, we are at Web Summit. I've had an incredible day and going to finish it up with this amazing group.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. So, with regard to the last 2 months of the year, any specific strategy for yourself, for all of us?
Yeah, so what I've come to the realization is if I focus in on the four things that I need, everything else will take care of itself. What does that mean? I'm going to focus in on my feeding. What feeds me? Because we need to feed ourselves to live. That's one thing we need. I'm going to focus in on my hydration, meaning I'm going to be connected to and through the greatest source of power, light, love, and lessons. I'm going to focus in on air, my breathing, because we need to eat, drink, and breathe in order to live. And I'm going to focus in on that. And finally, my sleep, because we need to sleep. So
Right.
if I focus on the four things that I need to be, the only things I need to be, I believe everything else will take care of itself. So if I only surround myself with the things that feed me, I stay connected as a conduit through my hydration, my own connectedness of this, water that I'm 80% of. If I breathe correctly, stop, drop, and roll, and then sleep correctly, everything else will take care of itself.
I think I heard you talk. Was that Clubhouse you mentioned this, or
Yeah,
is that what I heard?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is basically, the necessities of ourselves, right? Taking care of ourselves.
yeah.
But,
And but not wasting time on things that bleed us, not wasting interference time, but really focusing in on what nourishes us, what keeps us connected, what keeps us centered, and what allows us to recover.
sure. But with regard to the soft season, so to speak, this the festival of lights,
Yeah,
uh, and so what's coming up? We're now on
yeah.
the 2nd of November. We're gonna have Thanksgiving soon, and then we're gonna have
And so I have a different philosophy than most people. A lot of people think, this is time to back off. Not me. I think there's a third of the people that are dying to get things done during the holidays. And I'm leaning in during the holidays and I'm finding those third of the people that want to get things done. I'm not putting things off for 2 months.
no, for sure, no. But I just meant, there's a lot going on in the economy with the pipeline of no gifts. I think there should be, with regard to your mission, my mission of doing good and doing
Yep.
good deeds. I think that should be kind of be a gift to each other also. Besides buying things in the store and there's a shortage of things, and that's what I basically meant with strategy.
Okay. Yeah. I
Kind
mean, my strategy is to receive as much as I can so I can give, even, if there's certain things that there are shortages of. I want to receive what I want so I can give away what I have.
Sure, sure. All right. All right. Well, one final quick thing. So, as far as looking for high net worth individuals, is LinkedIn a good place, the only place, or where else can I look?
Everywhere, look for open minds and, make that emotional attachment by finding out what people like and don't like about what you're doing and ask, do you know anyone that can help me? Open minds surround themselves with open minds. Open minds have open hearts and open hands. Instead of looking specifically for high net individuals, look for open minds who know high net individuals and are willing to be a sponsor or a power sponsor of yours.
Right. Well, anybody listening, I'm looking for people who are in the Ethereum or any other cryptocurrency. So reach out to Dave, to me, but look forward to hearing from anybody who is interested in high net worth individual assets.
Nice. I may have some introductions. I'm here in Web Summit. There's a lot around me. So sounds good.
Go Braves.
Go Braves. I'm with you. Go
Bye.
Ozzy. All right, cool. All right, Zach Alicious, what's going on?
Dave, saw you flexing on the camera, man. Looking good.
Me and Mikey, we get flex offs all the time.
Love it, man. Yeah, thanks for taking the time, especially when you're Portugal. I think that's what, 11:30 there?
You nailed it.
Yeah. So 2-minute drill is next week. Very appreciative of the opportunity. I think biggest thing around that is like, what separates good from the winning pitches? Because I see, like, I've gone through a ton of the episodes and I see there are some people that are good and some people that just kind of take it to the next level. So from your side, like, what are you looking for and what separates good from great?
One, practice. I think the most practiced ones, if you look at even Bonnie, who's in this group, hers was so well rehearsed, and down to a T, timing wise, understanding her credibility, her emotional attachment, the story made sense. So if I was going to give one piece of advice, it's, you cannot practice enough.
Mhm.
And, the better that you execute on that practice, the better your credibility be, the more emotionally attached will be, the more articulate you'll be in quantifying the reasons, impacts, and capabilities, so that when you come to the end of your pitch, two things will be apparent. One, it's the best pitch, and two, it may be the best opportunity as well.
That's awesome. And I think to piggyback on that, the ask at the end, does it need a specific funding number or just looking for like pre-seed or seed funding?
I think, more specific, the better, in my
Mhm.
opinion, but
Yeah.
it's not a necessity. If you're not sure, then be honest and say, I'd like help in getting an evaluation so we could take in some pre-seed capital at the determinative valuation of the perceived value that you, the investor, and I would come up with.
Cool. That's perfect. Dave, thank you very much, man.
No problem, man. Thank you.
Take-
All right. Jesse.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Did you get my email?
I did. I didn't know what to do with it. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not always like that, but I have a lot of issues to work through. Anyway, so my question is, shit, no, almost forgot it. I've just been waiting here. Well, anyway, I'm on vacation, so I don't have my
Nice. Where are
brain.
you at?
We're in Kiwa Island in South Carolina.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, it's very nice.
It's almost as nice as Portugal.
What?
Almost as nice as Portugal.
Yeah. How long are you there?
I got in at 6 a.m. today, so I'm here till Thursday night. Then I go to Lexington, Kentucky to be with my brother Glenn Lundy for the Grow with God conference, and then I go home Saturday morning to be with my family again.
That's very nice.
Yeah, blessed.
My question, shoot, I should have one. Uh, uh,
This is what you sound like, Matt. You listening?
That's literally me all the time. Oh, I don't have a question, but I did wanna share some news. I'm not all bad news, I promise.
I know you're not. You're a wonderful person.
Thank you. So, I did, you know how we were well, I've been manifesting at my own place for like a while. Finally, I'm moving into an apartment in the city and it's really nice. I'm probably paying like a fraction for what it's actually worth. Like everyone's
Awesome.
like, "Oh my God, you're so lucky." And I was like, "I've been working on that."
Yeah, exactly. Attention plus intention equals coincidence, and you found a great place to live. Your whole life will change.
Yeah. And I have a roommate and yeah, it has everything I wanted. So,
No surprise to me. Congratulations.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jess.
Appreciate it.
Good to see you
Thank you.
smiling.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. All right, Janine, more good news. Hello.
Yeah, no, it's coming along. It's coming along really well. Listening to Jesse talk about finding the place I'm grateful for my home every day. I'm like, thank God I have a home, and like it's a great home. Because as you said, what other people wish for, or what you've previously wished for. Anyways, so things are coming along with the consulting business. There's been some really positive updates. So first of all, I decided to take more of an approach about a community building service rather than specifically guaranteeing deals. That just feels like a better fit for what I'm actually offering in this case. I mean, there's obviously room for both to exist. Anyways, I have a friend who created a whole process or method of peer supported learning. And I'm planning to combine that with traditional learning. And I've given the client, the first prospective client who's the investment broker, I gave him kind of the heads up. And I owe him an intro to my friend Paul, but I will invite him to Paul's conference in a couple weeks so my client can see in action like what I will be delivering to him. But it also, there's some structure here and like something more definitive where I've been able to put together at least a draft of a presentation that I will review with the client on Friday. So at this point, it's kind of about co-creating with the client and making sure that I'm delivering what he actually wants. And to get to the point of talking about the prices, I have prices in my mind, but here's kind of the question about the perceived value versus the bottom line is I know what my perceived value is from the standpoint of, oh, you'll be so proud of the progress I've made in this area. Hopefully you will. I am anyways. That I figured out what my full price is going to be. Like, for example, my plan is that by the time I'm on my third or fourth client, they will be at that perceived value full price number. The question at this point though is, do my first client knows he's my first client? Like, do I use that same number with the first client, or do I do kind of what I planned was to pick a number that was actually like 30% of that? I mean, it would be a huge discount. I was going to give him like a huge first client discount, and I don't know really how to approach this. I'm just curious. Like,
Yeah, just approach it with math and just go to your first client who already knows he's your first client and say, my normal price is blank, but because you're my first client, I would like to offer you the discount of blank if you're willing to get started on Monday.
Right. So that's the question, is how do I decide how much of a discount to suggest, or like
Perceived value and bottom line. Perceived value and bottom line. So if you feel that your perceived value is diminished because it's your first client, then come up with a new perceived value, articulate and illuminate why there's been a discount from your original perceived value to your new perceived value because he's a first time client, and go from there, and also know your bottom line and get the deal done.
So I guess I'll ask this then. Do you think that there is a lower perceived value to the first client, and that it makes sense to suggest a price that is lower than my general perceived value? Like, does it make sense to offer a discount, or should I say that perceived value price and just see how he reacts? Like,
yeah,
that's
I would
kind of
not
what I'm figuring
discount it.
out.
Yeah, I would not discount it. I think perceived value is perceived value, and you don't have to discount it because it's the first client. You're either providing and are capable of articulating the quantitative value to exceed what you're asking for, or not. So I would not discount it if it was me, and I would say, here's what I'm offering. And they'll say, no, but you're our first client. And then you say, well, here, how about this instead? And then maybe it's above your bottom line, or maybe it's not.
So, okay, once the client is the one, once we are aligned on the vision, then it comes down to talking about the numbers. I can present my perceived value, and at that point, if that is not a go, like, we can discuss what makes sense if it's above my bottom line. Is that what you're saying? Exactly. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm really hoping that you feel I've made progress in this area, because I
definitely do. You and Jesse have made a major project. Let's see if we can be 3 for 3 and see if Lori's made progress.
Awesome. All right. See you later.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, let's see if we have. I don't know. You tell me.
Is that your twin sister behind you?
What are you talking about?
That's skeleton.
My twin sister. What? What are you talking about? My twin sister.
What is that behind you? What is that thing?
This thing?
No, above it. Yeah.
Those are the hussy hats.
Oh, they look like skeletons.
Well, they might be. They might be. I've got a ladybug. I've got
Oh, you're a
a lot of
ladybug.
things going on. Oh, I am. And I've got my crown on with my Pisces. Yeah, man. I'm
Yeah,
bringing
man.
it. Exactly. And it's side because Andy Cohen likes it.
Oh,
You
gotta love
mister.
Andy Cohen. He's
No
hilarious.
shit, Sherlock. So do I. And you promised me because I love him so much. And he loves a side pony or a side
He
braid.
loves a side hussy. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah,
I could be a
maybe
side
not.
hussy.
But yeah, you know what? We're speaking
He
the
likes a
same language.
nice Jewish boy.
I love you. Exactly.
I
love you so
digress.
much.
But go ahead. Go ahead.
No. What I say is, I don't digress. I ascend.
I ascend as
Mhm.
well.
Because everyone says that term, right?
Yeah,
I digress. I've changed it. I've flipped it. Exactly.
I like to flip it.
Duality. Two, baby cakes, is I ascend. I don't digress.
All right.
Oh, mic drop. So that being said, I thank you so very much. I love you and I missed you. And whoa, there's confirmation coming through from the universe because all my alerts are going off right now. But that being said, is Portugal. Jelly, I am
It's
that
awesome.
you are there. And that is fantastic. Lexington. This little one that is just looking at me, my Yorkshire. Yeah, I'm going to get over here. I'm going to do this. I don't care. I'm going to take up some time because other people take up
I wish
time.
Lori could
Other
see
people take up time.
I wish Lori could see everyone else's face while she's doing all this shit.
Well, I'm doing all
You
this
made
shit.
Brian's
Yeah,
day.
exactly.
Brian, I haven't seen him smile like this in like 6 months. He's literally cracking up. You made his day.
Good. Well, this is
Oh, you
Lexington,
have a pet
and she's
rat.
named after the avenue. Okay. She's not named after Kentucky.
All right.
That being said, I've reached out to Glenn because Glenn Lundy is amazing. As I listened to him this morning, and I asked you about Wheels Up because connecting flights not so like I got her. I don't have the jab. Okay. Yet I would like to see you guys. So that being said, I'm done. I'm off my soapbox. What I would like to ask you about is how you talk about taking out the trash, of how you can get from like it not, being resistant and getting into the 3D. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I can be quiet.
Yeah, it's okay. So what you're discussing is finding the light, the love, and the lessons, even in the things that we have the most resistance to. Like for me, I hated taking the trash out and was capable of really finding enjoyment in taking the trash out, seeing it as something I get to do, not that I got to do, by giving a new meaning to it. And so I think, to pick certain things to do that with is really important because it starts giving us the clarity, the balance, and the focus that we are in complete control of what we see. And that although some things may not be worth the effort to find the light, the love, and the lessons in, a lot of things that we're not even putting any effort into finding the light, the love, and the lessons is worth it. And so that was the breakthrough that I had by being able to enjoy taking the trash out.
Makes total sense. Yep. You're just confirming.
I'm a confirmer. I hope to see you at the
You
Road
are,
Race.
and you're like the best thing ever. I love you so
Oh,
much. Like,
I
I mean,
love you
I
too.
seriously, like, you are just like, you are. I mean, and I'm going to just say this, and I'm going to take up more time. I don't even care because you know what other people do? Yeah. And I always try and like be as fast as possible. No, screw that. I love you, and I want to say that. And yeah, now I'm embarrassed. So I
You're good.
shall just leave it there.
Whoever wants
So
to tell me they love me, you can come on here and tell me you love me. You can waste everyone's time. It's fine. It's a good
I
way.
do
I'll be
because
going to
you're
sleep after.
amazing. You're
I'll be going to
amazing.
sleep after
Well,
this
good.
feeling loved.
And thank you for being here for us. I
We
appreciate
love
you.
you. You're
I
awesome.
love you too.
Thank you for showing up. She's awesome. Oh, my 2 favorite letters of the alphabet. There she is, Gigi. What's going on, girl?
Oh yeah, everything is great. And coming after that, I was like, just stay there. Like, sharing good energy is never a waste of time.
There's a great quote. You got that, Matt? Sharing good energy is never a waste of time.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, like I like this. Just do it more because there is a lesson that I've learned from you. When you're giving a gift and people see it, you actually give a gift to everyone witnessing the moment. So, and the thing that I've started doing is another lesson is you always say we forget everything. And what I've started doing in the last couple of days is actually rewatching all of your trainings, some like videos, and especially the one when you lose everything, because I think that for me is an important lesson. Um, and I have some great news. Yeah, they are great. I don't want to use any words like this because I just want to let things happen. So, I've been in like NFTs and all of that, and someone made me like a community manager for 40,000 people in a channel because I was like,
Nice.
I just want a space where I'm just being myself. And the second thing is people start coming to me to ask for help. I was like asking you, David, how did you become a coach? Your answer was people start coming to me. And I was like, how? And now someone who has kind of a gambling problem, I wouldn't call it like that, but he can't take his investment out of NFTs. Is like, can you hold me accountable and help me through this? And because of the lessons that I've learned from you, uh, now I can do that. And then I also had a conversation with my brother about my job, and I'm like, now I feel like it's a waste of time and it doesn't allow me to expand anymore. So I'm trying to build this brick by brick, and going in. My question is like going and betting on yourself, how you sign that check, is the scariest thing that you can do. And what did you say to yourself to be willing to do that and have more faith? How do I strengthen my faith? Because there are great things. Your mind is gonna go, no, 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 something's gonna happen. So how do I strengthen my faith right now?
Well, one is to practice it. That'll always strengthen anything. If you do more curls, your biceps will get stronger. If you practice your faith to remind, remember, and recollect that there's something bigger than you, and that thing that's bigger than you cares about you even more than your parents care about you or you care about your children. If you practice faith by telling yourself, I'm not being punished, there's nothing to worry about to separate myself from, to be inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, but I have faith and I'm practicing it, that this setback, this failure, this mistake is not punishment, but it is protecting me or propelling me to something better. That is the simple practice of faith. And the better we get at it, the less time we spend, if we only spend minutes and moments in the ego based consciousness of feeling inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, resentful, separate, whatever it may be, the less time we spend there and the more time we practice having faith, the better we'll be at it. And it's a continuum, it's an acceleration, it's a practice, a habit which aggregates upon itself, and that it doesn't just happen overnight. So we got to get better at practicing it and practice more of it, and you will enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential.
So now I need to use that because for me, when great things happen, this activates. So it's the opposite because I expect bad things. Even like now it's like it's
Cancel.
about energy. I want to transfer that energy into something great.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, thank you. I love you. I love everyone in this community. And yeah,
We
I
love you.
will see what happens. But
Our
I
two
will
favorite letters.
if it wouldn't be for this. So I will always be grateful and always thank you for this and to everyone here. So
Thank you.
see you. Love you.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Bye.
All right, Mario, what's going on,
Super
buddy?
Dave, how are you, sir?
New earphones?
No, actually, same ones. I just changed my lighting so they show
Okay.
up a little bit better for you. And I got to tell you, I absolutely, this week has been a challenging week for me, but I love when coincidence and synchronicities happen to tell me that I'm on the right path. You were just telling Gigi about lifting the dumbbell and it getting easier with time. And I swear to God, I was just typing this out in a paragraph talking about lifting a 20-pound weight. But if you follow the action in the process, that the 20-pound weight doesn't change, but your capabilities do, and it becomes much easier and you get it much faster. So the connection there is definitely some synchronicity for me. So thank you for that. Keeping on that theme of empowering others, I was wondering if you have any exercises that you could recommend that help people develop a mindset where they can actually perceive the setbacks as a setup and not be so emotionally down when something like that happens.
You mean for me, it's instituting the stop, drop, and roll.
I would,
So
yeah. So I got the stop, drop, and roll, and was wondering if you had any other ones to help, because sometimes one concept
cancel,
might.
clear, connect. So cancel, clear, connect is a great way. But I think one area, even if you got the stop, drop, and roll down, is just getting better at identifying when you're ego-based consciousness. A lot of times we either don't identify when we're ego-based consciousness, or it takes us too long to identify that we're in ego-based consciousness. So the better that we become about finding the triggers in family members, events, circumstances, energy, content that's setting forth a separate feeling, the better we get at identifying that, the faster we identify it, the faster we can heal with the stop, drop, and roll.
Dave, I can tell you're tired, and I really appreciate that you're on this right now. But I do want to ask you, for somebody who's not
Now, if I
necessarily
fall asleep,
aware.
just wake me back up. I'll answer the question.
I'll sing it. I'll
I've
sing
been up
into my
40. I've been
microphone.
up 48 hours, so
Oh,
we're
God
good.
bless you. God bless you. I just wanted to ask, so for a person who's not that aware of their feelings and maybe is on, kind of a scarcity mindset or just on reaction mode, they're not necessarily in balance. How do they know that they're in ego-based consciousness? How do they know to stop, drop, and roll? Is there a way to teach them that, okay, hold on, the red light just went. Now's when
Yeah,
you got to
you
stop,
don't
drop,
feel
and roll. How
good.
do you, sorry,
It's the
when
way
you
you
don't feel
feel.
good?
The way you feel, yeah, like you feel angry, frustrated. All these are bad feelings. So if you're not happy, then it should be a key indicator. If somebody doesn't, it's not just ideas, right? It's like, hey, when I'm around this person, I feel like shit. Oh, maybe you should stop, drop, and roll. It's a trigger.
Yeah. Okay. I got him, my man. Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
I
Have a great
appreciate it.
rest.
Thanks for your patience, everyone.
Oh, loving it.
I'm giving my all, man. I'm giving my all. Hey, Johnny Hart.
Dave, how you doing? It's been a while. It's been about
Amazing.
2 months.
Too long.
Thank you for being patient with me coming back. I thought it was going to be about a month, but it's been a month. You're the Wayne Dyer of sports. Glad to see you again.
I love that. That's a huge compliment. Thank you.
I'm going to keep saying it because it's true. And I like being almost the last because I get to hear everybody, and some of the answers were some of my questions were always answered. But you mentioned about stop, drop, and roll. Well, that's fresh in my mind. When I started the school year this year, a lot of things happened that nobody was expecting, as far as a lot of stress for everybody. And I'm sure that they're feeling it everywhere, as far as the school district nationally, as far as COVID. But that being said, you've talked in the past about working with negative people and how do you deal with it. You mentioned about the stop, drop, and roll a moment ago. And then you also mentioned in one of your sayings, you said, surround yourself around people that feed you, not bleed you. So my route this year has got an aide with me, which means I have special needs this year, which is great because I get to do some things with Tim Tebow that never thought I would before. But that being said, working with special needs actually has added value and purpose to this job more than it ever has. But my aide is the most negative person that I've ever had to ride with or experience with, but yet she's also got the biggest heart. So when you're consistent with somebody and you can't get out of it, how do you mentally deal with it?
Well, first of all, it just is a variance of the great chain of feeding. So if somebody has great attributes but is negative, then you have to decide in what area is it worth finding the light, the love, and the lessons, and having gratitude for that person, as well as forgiveness for that person, and also accountability for the way that that person is making you feel. And if it's not worth it to you in that chain of feeding, then you have to let them fall away or fire them. But if it's worth it to you and continually put the effort in because of their kindness or awareness or whatever obligatory relationship that you may have, it may be worth it to continue on. But in some varying degree, you need to quantify in your mind a relationship that bleeds you or does not feed you, and determine according to your values, is it worth your time to stay engaged, or what energy are you going to put into it to stay engaged with them?
Yeah, it's kind of like the first 3 weeks was kind of like a battle, but now we're kind of like, sometimes we bleed each other, sometimes we feed each other, and I actually told her, I said, I spent thousands of dollars in the personal development industry. I went to the world's greatest motivators, heard Dave Meltzer and others say, you're not going to suck this out of me. It's not going to happen. And but you know what? I think we all experience that.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just something that, but I never had this consistent. Usually I can walk away from it.
If it bleeds you too much and it's not worth it, that's when you determine to walk away. It's your personal decision, right? And it's just a matter of, you know what, with this 80% of the resources I'm putting towards this, I could do all of this good, and I can do well and do good at the same time. I don't need this, because if I focus the time, energy, emotion on something else, I'll get such a better result. And so it's time to move on.
One last quick question. It's kind of like a Bob Proctor question. So if I've ever seen Bob Proctor, which it's hardly likely, but who knows? But I know you're more access with him or not. But I have one of his programs to where I keep hearing him say that one of his mentors was Lila Val Vanderval, that said, observation is power, judgment is weakness. My question is, how do you distinguish between the two?
So observation is the ability to focus in on and then give intention to what you're focusing in on. Judgment has an ego-based objective to it, right? A judgment is a condition placed upon with human meaning of what you see. So it's completely subjective, where the other is completely objective.
That's awesome. Wow, that's awesome. All right then. Well, as I make this transition over to driving school bus into real estate sales, I will continue being a part of this, and I love this group, love these people, and
thank you, Johnny Bigheart. You're awesome.
You guys are awesome. So just thank you very much. So grateful for you and everybody else.
Grateful for you. Well, if we can't get Brian smiling again, I'll have to bring Lori back on.
Can you hear me, Dave?
I can hear you
Awesome.
and see you.
Awesome. I get it. You're good, man. So I'm gonna take like maybe a minute or two to kind of explain where I've been, because usually I'm working with like time, obviously. I do want to thank you so much, because I know I've said this before, but you saved my life very much. So I'm about to go homeless again. They cut my hours at Domino's. I'm about to bartend again. So I'm working with energy again. So it's all good. I'm not really worried about that. What I'm really trying to focus on is what I've been working on spiritually. So, always, obviously. So I met John Maxwell, right? So I'm a John Maxwell coach. And the message that I received after I met Sadhguru was to kind of lay down my life and surrender to God and live it to the fullest. Now, at that point, I didn't have anything to me. Now, I just want to make sure that everybody's okay with what I'm going to say, because it's going to be a little bit extreme. So I didn't have anything else to offer to God but my life. So, obviously his advice was to just live one more day, right? Like, obviously it's very important for me to live in this life. There's something that I have to do. So I didn't know what to make sense of it, because I didn't have any fucking idea what was going on. So I reached out to David Alt, right? Who led the Atlanta Spiritual Center for about 8 years. Now, I was able to get some information, and basically what happened was that my ego was actually going to drive me to the point of no return. So I was able to be fortunate enough to actually have that divine intervention to live one more day, because what he told me, and it was the most important thing, was to love the illusion. So basically, after studying so much of the integral theory that Ken Wilber did, all the other experiences allowed me to have this true insight of the non-dual, right? So basically, I understood the first person, second person, third person, and it all intertwined in this same room. So basically, I was in this state, and it just became very difficult for me to really stay in that state because I had to leave everything that I ever knew, right? It just kind of was like a decision that I have to make. So my body was going through all this pain. Like the energy that was going through my body was just too excruciating. And then I kind of understood what Sadhguru was, his mind. And then I remembered what David Alt told me. And then he told me to listen to Ram Dass, right? So I kind of lowered my vibration to Ram Dass. And then embracing my humanity, right? So what he spoke about was that when he was in his sixth chakra, in this instance, he was basically, and I know I'm so sorry, this is like, I know you're truly trying to focus. There was no relatability, right? They couldn't feel my humanness, right? So there was something that wasn't relatable at this stage. So I needed to lower it down to my heart chakra. And what was happening was that I was having even more excruciating pain, and it was even raising my vibration even more. So I kind of understood what the Buddha was actually talking about when he was talking about his bones breaking, because I could feel it in my spine. So then I remember David Data and how he became a Jack Daniel drinking motherfucker, right? So what happened was that I needed to lower my vibration a lot more, because what happens is that when you go too far, you start splitting off the lower ends. And when you are too stuck in the lower ends, you don't go far enough. So there's no integration that's really going on. So in these processes of waking up, I've had pretty much all the experiences of waking up, and I've had all the experiences of cleaning up. So I've actually fulfilled all my karma, and now I'm building more karma every single day. I'm working out, eating more than I usually do. So, what I've learned studying the Tao is that the flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long. So I had the decision to make to become the Bodhisattva or moving into a higher, transition. The only thing was that because of my growing up stages in the real world, because, growing up, I already know how to be a man, but in this aspect, I would have broken something. Something would have broken in my psyche, would have broken in my soul, or would have broken in my body. So in this aspect, I tried to write about the dangers of enlightenment, but then I realized that was another form of ego. So I kept remembering what Sadhguru told me, which was you have to start from the bottom and work your way up step by step, right? Anytime that I'm trying to jump to my sixth to my seventh is because there's an ego-based thing that's trying to do that. So I can't even smoke because it just hurts excruciatingly. If I drink too much, any substance that's not wine or, maybe a little bit of Jack Daniels to kind of lower myself is excruciating. Like I didn't know what to do. So I had to stop my Shambhavi, right? I don't know if you had to do some Shambhavi with Sadhguru when you met him, but I had to stop it because it was raising my vibration so much that my body wasn't allowing me to do that. So when it comes to the questions that I'm having, right? One, how do I go about my vibration right now? Because the thing is that if I keep lowering my vibration, there might be a possibility that I get stuck. Two, how do I at least, because I want to at least warn people when it comes to this enlightenment, right? Because I don't want people to do what I did. There's no possibility that anybody can do what I did and still be sane. There's no possible way, man. There's no possible way, because I know what I've done and there's no way. So I understand Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, right? Ramakrishna, when they did these hacks with eating so much, smoking sometimes. I can't even smoke. So I, drinking the wine and stuff like that. But I deleted that book, right? Because I knew that was an ego-based thing. So coming from this perspective, right, of understanding that I have to integrate all these subpersonalities, because now I'm on, maybe the third day until I finish all my Course in Miracles. How am I going about this? Because now I don't know, who am I praying to? Am I praying to Shiva? Am I praying to Christ? how am I supposed to go about my vibration? And then 2, what is the most important thing that I'm supposed to focus on when I'm trying to give this information to people so it can resonate with them? Because what happens is that if I'm at this high level, they're going to treat me like anybody that was high and they fucking crucified him, right? And I'm sorry, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at, if that makes sense. Because I've lowered my vibration at this point, and I'm like, fuck everybody, because I'm going to take what's rightfully mine. Like, I want success and I'm going to go for it. And this is where I was before, but I'm coming from a different place of awareness.
Yeah. So first of all, you're looking far, far, far too deep into what it is, right? So you need to just do the 5 daily practices of, this is what I want. This is who can help me, who I can help, and how best to get it done to apply my why. What you're doing right now is you're overthinking again that, you know, as you've elevated your vibration and your awareness, people don't fit into your realm or spectrum of vibration or frequency. Therefore, if they don't fit into your frequency, they're separate from you, which is absolutely not true, right?
Yes.
There may be interference because of the delta between your higher vibration and their lower vibration, but you're still connected to and through them. And so you still have that quantitative analysis of, is it worth the effort to be engaged or to clear the interference, or should I move on and find somebody else that is aligned with a higher frequency?
Why delta?
The delta between
why delta?
The delta between the lower vibrating people that are with you, and your vibration, you know, that's the delta that creates the interference when you are vibrating at a faster frequency or a higher vibration of enlightenment, awareness, and understanding, so that, you know, other people don't understand or think you're crazy or whatever else they may think, which happens quite often. So you need to go ahead and look within yourself, find out what's most valuable to you, who you can help, who can help you, how to get it done, and learn to prioritize effectively the different activities that you have during the day to continue to pursue your potential, regardless what other people think, say, or do. Does that sound fair?
Yes. So what I've learned is that it's better to be brave than liked, right? Like, it's more important to fulfill what I'm supposed to be doing.
For sure.
Yes. So in this aspect, I'm trying to just move forward, and that makes perfect sense. The other request is that, can you reach out to Ken Wilber, brother, for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Sure.
Like, please do something, because, like, you're doing such amazing work, and, like, if people really understood the path, then it would make more sense to them instead of trying to crash their paradigm so much, which allows them to just fucking fall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I will definitely.
Okay, cool.
You got it, my
I love
friend.
you so
Keep
much.
smiling. Keep
Thank you so
smiling.
much, man.
Next time you get sad, think of Lori. You crack up. All right. What's up, Timmy boy?
David, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm awesome. How are you?
All right. So first time I went to your website and I go on there and I see that make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun. I'm like, I know I'm gonna like this guy, right? And I wasn't wrong. But over the last year or so, I've shared that philosophy with a lot of people, and of course I always give you credit, but it's been really, really interesting to me, because it's made me realize how many people have hangups about money. Okay, because a lot of people, you share that with them, they're like, yeah, that's awesome, I love that. A lot of other people are kind of like, they kind of apologize, they kind of cringe, or like, well, yeah, of course I want to help people, and I want to have fun, and I guess I kind of want to make money. You know, like they're very, very self-conscious about the idea that you should put yourself out there and say, you know, I'm asking for money, I expect to make money. I'm like, you would wake up in the morning and say, I'm pursuing money, right? So it's like people confuse the idea of there's a lot of other things in life more important than money, to mean that like money's not important and you shouldn't care and you shouldn't worry about it. And at the same time, I'll be honest with you, I've kind of realized that I've had some of that subconscious, just the way I grew up, the way I was raised, and all that. And I'm like trying to push through that. But I would just love to kind of get your, you know, how do you talk to people about that? Like, you know, that have kind of been raised to believe, well, it's not really important about money, or you shouldn't be materialistic, or that's greedy, or whatever it is. Like, how do you get people to see that difference between there's things more important than money, and money's still very, very important.
Yeah, for me, it's your intention of what you want to do with what you have. So if you're pure in your thoughts of what you're going to receive, then you're actually a better person for wanting to give to others. So my 100% intention was to give everything that I received to other people, then it would be a good cause to receive as much as I can. If I'm 99% going to give everything I receive, it's still a very good cause. And if it's 98%, it's still a very good cause, just less and less as it diminishes further and farther. But those people that are most confident and intentional about receiving to give are the ones that would have no guilt, resentment, offense, or need to feel any type of separation because other people think something other than the fact that, look, I was the title sponsor of my kids' football team at their high school, and I spent a lot of money to sponsor the scoreboard, and the school changed my saying, right, to help a lot of people have fun and make a lot of money, like
Right.
like they felt so guilty. And it's like, okay, so you guys feel guilty about making a lot of money first, but you guys have hit up everybody in the community and you took my money, right? You had no problem asking me to support the team and ask me for money. Well, if maybe you made more money and focused in on it, you could do better for the community by giving the boys more and not asking guys like me to sponsor the scoreboard.
Right.
So it's counterintuitive. You can't give what you don't have. And it's your intentions that make you feel guilty, resentful, angry, frustrated, that you don't understand. The more I receive, the more I can give.
Right. And I was the other question is, I know there had to be a reason you put that first, because like I said, people, they're okay with sort of throwing that in at the end kind of casually, but they don't want to, no one wants to wake up and say, I'm here to make money. Like that's just,
I'm here to make money.
that
I'm
seems
here.
wrong.
I have such pure intentions to give everything away. I want to keep making as much money as I can to impact as many people as I can and give it all away.
Right. That's awesome. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
All right.
All right. I'm still awake. You can't break me. What's up, Brendan?
How you doing, Dave?
Awesome. Hanging in there.
Good, good. Question for you, kind of because I feel like you've been kind of in a position that I've been in. I'm at a point in my career right now where my career and my personal life have kind of come to a headwind and conflict with each other. And, while, I've made more money this year and I've been a wallflower in your groups. I've been listening, watching, taking notes. I don't really say much, but I've been listening to everybody that's been in this stream tonight. But my question really is, when I started doing things consistently and I built them up consistently and I did the same things every day, having those lens of accessibility and productivity, something occurred where my wife and I are now, kind of in the out and outs, which is unfortunate. However, it's the children for me. Now I have 2 daughters and a son. I know you have 2 daughters and a son. My concern really is with the schedule that I now have, which is now altered. How do I get back to keeping myself on track when there's so much, and it's not interference, it's just so much uncertainty. Because from a sales perspective, beginning of the year, middle of the year, crushing it, killing it. Fourth quarter came, those interferences kind of came in my head, and now I'm treading water right now.
Yeah. So, I think understanding that this interference is going to depreciate, diminish, and dissolve your capacity. And so the best thing that you can do is to clear that interference so that you can achieve more, receive more, and give more, especially to your kids. And that as much as we may feel separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, resentful because of a separation or divorce, that this interference is only going to create more dissipation of my credibility, more dissipation of the emotional inspiration that I need and should have in this situation, and allowing myself to forgive myself for any of the aspects that I caused to have this interference. So if you focus in on to, I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy, what am I doing to interfere with it? Instead of, hey, I got to re-engineer this somehow. I got to go get happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy. And I can't do it because my ex-wife or, whatever she is creating a harder situation for me. Instead of focusing in on what you are and what's interfering, you're just focusing on what's missing and what you don't want.
Right. I'm kind of sitting in a place where I'm kind of banging my head between a rock and a hard place. And I'm on the flip side. I mean, listen, I'm eternally grateful for all the struggles that I'm going through. Because listen, I've been through the gauntlet, and you go through tough times, and it creates you come out stronger on the other end. So I'm not worried about. It's just keeping up with that consistency and persist, and I am persistent. It's just the consistency now has the boat's been rocked, and I'm trying to get back on course.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Gotta stay consistent.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, all right. Thanks, Dave.
Great job, man. Stay cool.
Appreciate
You got it. Kathleen. Bonnie. Welcome back.
Thank you. I actually just wanted to say thank you, and I love you, and get some rest.
I will.
And I will talk to you soon. Team Grit. I'll talk to you a little bit more about that another time when
All
you're
right,
resting.
cool. I'm glad to have you on my team. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Oh, that's a savior. Hi, Kathleen.
Hey, how are you?
Amazing. How are you?
Good. This isn't quite fitting in with your wind down period, is it?
It is 4:22 p.m. here, and when I'm in Europe, I squeeze an extra hour, but it's a little later than I want it to be.
Yeah. I wanted to give you a very brief update, and then again, just continue with my request. So back in August, I submitted this proposal. I dropped everything to do an extraordinarily detailed proposal for the university. So here we are some 3 or 4 months later, and the slow-moving train is somewhere out in the distance. And so I'm learning a lot, and you had already forecasted that back in August. So I'm not holding my breath, although they continue to say, that they want a partnership with me. So I've been busy doing a lot of events, so I'm really grateful for that. So my request, as I wind down this group, I know that you are doing events after events. And again, I continue to ask you to keep me in mind for your reach out to people that that are doing events that might need coverage. I mean, that's my wheelhouse right now. I'm very grateful for the work coming my way. I'm staying really busy, and I'm really happy for it. So.
Wow. Well, keep your focus in on that ability, and and everyone else in this group, anyone involved in events that needs that type of capture, we should all be referring business to Kathleen so she can accelerate, grow, and expand that as well. And I certainly will, and appreciate the reminder as well. So it's great to see you on here, and everyone help. Everyone jump in, ask.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for everything. Okay.
Congrats.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, Alicia.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
I'm hanging in there tonight.
I know you're
What's going on?
tired. I just have one real quick question. I'm gonna be real fast today. So just real fast. I remember I told you last week I hired someone that was started. Well, I already got rid of her. Another story. But God blessed me with a replacement that was cheaper, so it's gonna work even better. So I'm really happy. But today's question is, I'm looking for a CRM program that's not going to break my bank like Salesforce, that I can track. Everything's in my head. That doesn't help anyone. It's not going to help me grow. And so I need to get all my clients in one place and also be able to delegate work from that space to my team. And I've been looking at some things, and I know you have to deal with things like that. And I thought I'd ask, even if you don't know, if you could look into that for me with your people that know, I'd be happy with just that request. And that's all I want.
Yeah, I would look at Zoho, Zoho.
I've looked at that.
And I would look at Kajabi.
I haven't heard of that one.
And maybe Thinkific.
Okay. I know Zoho. I've explored that. I haven't heard of the other two, so I'll definitely take a look at that and see. So
Awesome.
I
Let
just
me know
wanted
if
to
you
know
have
what
any
you would
trouble.
recommend, I guess. So
Yeah, let me know. I'll keep on referring.
okay, thank you. Have a great one. Get some
You
rest. All
got
right.
it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Hello, my friend.
How are you, my darling? Oh, look, first of all, thank you. I missed
Thank
you.
you.
You woke up. I fell asleep 5 minutes before the phone rang.
I fell asleep on the call.
I have that effect on everyone. Don't worry, you're not alone.
That's so good.
Look, I have got 3 things that I want to say very quickly because I'm aware that you're tired. But John, when he said, "Oh, he would never meet Bob Proctor," well, Bob Proctor actually says, well, I've got a story about him because he's my mentor, and he said one time, "Oh, Earl Nightingale, I'd love to meet him," and the sales guy, colleague of his, said, "No, you don't. If you did, you would go and see him." So what he did was he made a phone call, and Earl Nightingale called him back, and he got to work for him, and then also became as a vice president of sales. So not only that, John, but I was at consultants training, and everybody was crouching round Bob, and I'm thinking, I'll never even get anywhere near him. I blinked. And when I opened my eyes, guess who's standing right in front of me? And guess who's saying, "You look as if you need a hug." And he gave me a hug. So, John, if you want to meet Bob Proctor, you can meet him. And Tim, Bob Proctor says money is only used for 2 things: to make us comfortable, which makes us more creative, but the other purpose is money enables us to extend our presence, our services beyond our presence. So like my big goal about raising money for, my big goal that I've never shared properly with you. The fact that I've actually maybe given something, maybe I'm still struggling with my big ask. But Chef Marshall, he mentioned on the previous call about the new program he's got. And then I happened to be listening to some friends that are new friends I've made on Clubhouse 2 nights ago, last night, whatever time it was, when you work out the time difference. And I just thought he would be an amazing guest on her program. So maybe, and then I realized that Chef Marshall was actually here, and I've scribbled his number down. So if he gets a +64 number, it's me.
Nice.
I just want to let you go to bed now because you look so tired.
I am tired. This is a rarity. I'm on my adaptable routine, and I appreciate everyone for your patience. I'm glad we could do this, though. Hopefully, I rose to the occasion. And Todd Lawson, I know you're trying to get in. Let's just do a call tomorrow. I appreciate everyone. I'm going to get some rest. You get some rest. Remember, be kind to your future self. Do good deeds. I'm so grateful for all of you. This is an extraordinary group, and thank you all for learning so much. Have a great night. Bye-bye.